equation like y equals x cubed plus 4. Just throwing that out there. You can test for symmetry in 3 different ways: on the y-axis, in relation to the x-axis, and in relation to the origin. First, we're going to test it in relation to the y-axis. For this, you plug in, you make all x's negative. So, since we have y equals x cubed plus 4, we would make our equation y equals negative x cubed plus 4. And then you want to simplify it. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. You want to simplify it and see if it matches your original equation. So when we simplify it, we still get y equals negative x cubed plus 4. So it's not symmetric in relation to the y-axis. Now whenever you're testing for symmetry in relation to the x-axis, you want to plug in a negative for all the y's. So your equation would become negative y equals x cubed plus 4. And again, that doesn't match your original equation, so it's not symmetric in relation to the x-axis either. If you want to test it in relation to the origin, then you have to plug in a negative for both your x and your y. So when we do that, we get negative y equals negative x cubed plus 4. And that is simplified to be the same, negative y equals negative x cubed plus 4, which doesn't match the original equation. So this equation has no symmetry whatsoever. But let's see if we can get another one to be symmetric. Let's try. Alright, so let's test it in relation to the y-axis. So we would plug in y equals negative x squared. Now, whenever you square a negative number, it becomes positive. So this would become y equals x squared, which equals the original equation. So yes, this one is symmetric in relation to the y-axis. Alright, now for the x-axis, well, we would have to plug in a negative for the y, so that this one would equal negative y equals x squared, which does not equal the original equation, so this one is not symmetric in relation to the x-axis. And lastly, for the origin, remember we plug in a negative for both the y and the x, so we would plug in negative y equals negative x squared, which simplifies to negative y equals x squared. And again, that doesn't match the original equation, so it is not symmetric in relation to the origin, only to the y-axis. And that is how you test for symmetry.